Hey everybody, it's Sabi again. I'm back with another video, this time fully about the SpaceX Crew Dragon mission. I am not going to add anything new that hasn't been done or covered by other guys. Uh, Big shout out for Tim Dodd, the everyday astronaut. I'm a big fan of yours. And also to Scott Manley. You guys just providing the information for us through your enthusiasm that just feeds up my sort of interest as well. And I'm pretty sure there are thousands and thousands of people out there who thinks the same. So yes, big thank you for your work. Thank you. So in this video I'm gonna talk about my ground-based photography. I take, as you might know, I take photos of the International Space Station and smaller spacecrafts going to and from the International Space Station. That's kind of my hobby. So you can imagine how much I looked forward to see the Crew Dragon finally flying, and I really wanted to document this first mission as thoroughly as possible, just because it's historic role it is going to play. So yes, March the 2nd, we had a beautiful launch of the Falcon 9 Block 5 rockets with the Crew Dragon on top. Perfect landing on the Atlantic Ocean, on the, of course, I Still Love You floating barge. Then on the next day, just a little over 24 hours later, it docked to space station. Both I watched live. What I was hoping before docking is that I had beautiful morning passes, and I was really hoping to be able to basically capture just at least one tiny shot of the Crew Dragon flying solo. Sadly, weather wasn't too cooperative. Welcome to London. That's a regular thing that can happen in London. So yes, it was missed, but on the next day I was hoping that, the weather gonna be favorable. It wasn't. But I had 5 days, 5 attempts, possible opportunities to hopefully try to take a photo. So Monday was off, sadly. Tuesday was the day I did my setup. It was really nicely, just a beautiful clear morning. But by the time I did my setup, thin clouds rolled in, just completely ruining basically my chances. But I was there, so I saw the ISS through the clouds. Some places it was more thinner, thicker, it was changing, variable. But because I was out there and it was so important for me to give a try, I did. And funnily, I found a few frames with Crew Dragon identifiable. But to be fair, I really wanted to take a better shot. So I kept on, following the weather forecasts, keeping an eye on it. How is it changing? Radar, set 24, and yeah, I really tried my very best. And finally on Thursday, just a day before undocking from the International Space Station, it did happen, and I could manage to take a beautiful photograph. Well, a set of photographs basically. You will see some animation from the best shot frames. You will see my best shot of the space station. You might find interesting that the solar panels, they are not really aligned, because we are looking from the edge, not from, when we can see a nice big surface of the solar panels. So it seems like they are not even there. They are there, but we are looking at, at a certain angle that they just don't show their surface basically. Yes, but it's there. The Crew Dragon is there, and it just looks beautiful. It's huge. It's huge. Obviously, relative to what is it what was it like when the shuttle was there. I will show you a photo now from Martin Lewis, and he used to take awesome photographs of the International Space Station whilst the space shuttle was docked. Anyhow, I managed the shot. You will see all these photos. You can find it on my Instagram account, on my Twitter account. You will find in the comment section the links to all my profiles if you really want to take a look at it in a higher resolution. So yes, I was really happy. I watched the splashdown, the orbit, splashdown. Everything went really nicely, and as it should have happened, basically. And then, to be honest, I totally assumed that the mission is over from my photography point of view. But then Monica Londijebnar, a really nice friend of mine who's having very similar interest to mine, and she lives in Hungary. Then one day she just shared a photograph of the Crew Dragon trunk on orbit, which, to be honest, I didn't think about it. That it remained in orbit and is visible, and then she showed a photo, and you can see the Crew Dragon trunk and the ISS on a star trail photograph. And then I did my research on calsky.com, and yes, I had a good flyby. So the next morning I went out a few days ago, and yeah, it was, it just appeared when it was supposed to, as it was predicted. And yeah, amazing, really. I mean, the Crew Dragon had a pressurized and an unpressurized part. It consists of two parts, basically. The pressurized one carries the astronauts and all the precious cargo, and the unpressurized trunk is basically everything else that's okay in an unpressurized environment. And when the Dragon returns, the trunk does not return with it. It separates and it remains orbit, and slowly as it gets to a lower and lower orbit, it will just burn up, but it still remains on orbit. So because I still had the morning passes relatively high at a high elevation, I went out and it brightened up about +1, +2, visual magnitude of +1, +2, really bright. You couldn't miss it. Obviously it's not as bright as the ISS in comparison, but yes. So it appeared about 7 minutes before the International Space Station, and then 7 minutes later the International Space Station had a similar path through the sky. And yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. Please make sure that you find a local group, and it's available for anybody. You just have to have a telescope, a camera. You need to align your scope with your finder scope, but up here in the screen you will see a link where I precisely explain how I photographed the International Space Station. And yes, all my work is basically on my website, which is spacestationguys.com. Please visit. You will find again in the comment section a link towards my website. And yes, if you like my channel, and if you would like to follow what I'm doing, which is going to be more regular in the future, because every big project I try to cover in a video as well, because I think it's more personal if I talk about it instead of just showing photographs. So I try to explain how I take photograph, etc. So yes, please subscribe if you like my channel. Please hit the bell button as well, and then you're gonna get notified if something new has appeared on my channel. And clear skies to everybody. Cheerio. Bye bye.